Welcome back. The last time we played, we finally unlocked the keep, which I was very excited about. Still excited about it, especially this place, which I'm going to be able to do up, and then I can rest here. And as I now know from a comment, I can level up this place as well so that we get additional resting bonuses. So this is definitely going to happen, and it's given me a reason to try to make more money in the game as well. I'm hopefully that will become easier kind of as we're going. I've just noticed that 3 people want to talk to me, so maybe we should do that. He wants to talk to me. Aloth seems lost in thought. He flinches when you draw near, sucking in a sharp breath through his teeth. Okay. This guy seems to have 2 personalities going on, so maybe we'll find out something about that secret.
What can I do for you?
Okay, you've been acting strange. Are you all right? Or you can start by explaining what's going on. You've been acting strange.
A crumbling castle, abandoned memories, and an old man who can no longer tell them from reality. I'd say we've seen some rather strange things.
Okay, that's fair. It's a good way to dodge the question.
And if Meerwald is to be believed, it would seem you've an uncertain future ahead.
I don't know what to think. He was out of his mind. I don't place stock in the ramblings of a lunatic. There's no point in speculating now. My situation is more dire than I realised. We've got to find this leaden key, and fast. Or he was a monster in his past lives. He got what he deserved. They're all fair points. I mean, he was a monster in his past lives. The situation probably is a bit more dire than we realised. He was kind of out of his mind, but his ramblings were actually quite useful. Maybe I should go for the I don't know what to think.
Perhaps Defiance Bay holds the answers we need.
Alice snags his cloak about his shoulders, glancing at you out of the corner of his eye. I want to discuss something else. Okay, tell me about Erda. How long were you in Gilded Vale? Any thoughts on what I should do next? How long were you in Gilded Vale? He shrugs, fidgeting with the hem of his sleeve. Not much longer than you. And as you saw, it was hardly the haven that had been advertised. Yes, absolutely. If you're joining this, not having seen the first episodes or not knowing Pillars of Eternity, we arrived at the advertised destination to find that most of the population had been hung from a tree. And the person who was sending out the invitation seemed to have gone kind of crazy. I guess we don't get to find out much more. Maybe if I ask him to tell me about Erda. I've been gone for more than a year now, but I suspect I'll always think of the forests and fields of Erda as home. We've thousands of years of history and tradition behind us, and there's a sense of dignity and responsibility that comes with that. He frowns. Of course, there's baggage as well. Our imperial past is still fresh in the minds of many, as you may have noticed here. Okay, I don't think that's connected to his secret, but has it been difficult to adjust to the Deerwood? People here are informal, hot-blooded. His mouth twists into a wry smirk, more attentive to insult than to duty, but as long as one avoids provocation, it's easy enough to get along. He steeples his fingers. I've gotten accustomed enough to keeping my thoughts to myself anyway. See, that's the clue. That's the clue to this secret. The thoughts in his head, the other person in his head, which seems to have a kind of Scottish accent. Thoughts on what to do next? I already know what we're doing next, but we'll ask him his thoughts. Meerwald urged you to seek out the leaden key agents in Defiance Bay, yes? If his condition is any warning, we should find them with all haste. Okay, we already knew that. Let's see what Kana wants to say.
He couldn't contend with all that he knew of himself. A cruel fate.
It may be my fate too. It may, but Meerwald knew his curse for all that he succumbed to it. Perhaps he gave you what you need to escape his fate. Let's seek out those ruins he mentioned. We may find something of use.
That old watcher. I don't know what I expected, but it sure wasn't that.
Me either. I also was really not expecting that. You said you had some things you wanted to ask him. Oh, yeah.
Nah, it's kind of embarrassing now. I just got a dumb idea in my head is all. Don't know why I thought it'd work. It's funny. That's probably the first thing I got my hopes up for in, I don't know, years. At least I got that out of it.
Just ask him what was it, or there's no need to be embarrassed. I won't judge. Yeah.
All right. Guess fair is fair, and you did bring me to see him. Those rumors back in Gilded Vale about my brother, Woden, about how he'd turned against us and fought for Widewind, been on my mind for some time now. The thing about Woden was, he always knew what was right, and that's what he'd do. One day he set out to fight for Deerwood against a man claiming to be our god. So I knew that's what I had to do too. It was right. But hearing claims that he died fighting for Rhea Saris, that got me worried. Not that he'd chosen the wrong side, but that I had. Didn't seem right what Widewind had in store, but if he really was Aethys... I thought, maybe this old Watcher would know how my brother died. So I could see if it was true. Like he could, I don't know, read it in my soul or something. Use our connection. Told you it was dumb.
Aww. I feel sorry for him. Why didn't you ask me for help? I don't know. Guess because I didn't know you. It's hard to trust a stranger that says she's a Watcher. I mean, that's fair, but also, why would you trust Merwold? I did that, and he killed me.
Of course, I knew the truth deep down. Watcher's not psychic. I think I just had this idea, and the idea made me feel a certain way, and I didn't want to lose that.
Aww. I think he's my favourite character so far. Really, if I wanted to find out about my brother, I shouldn't be starting with Watchers. I should be starting with records. Okay, so why don't you? Erda thinks a moment, his lips twisted to one side. He raises his eyebrows. If there was anything written down about it, they'd have it in Defiance Bay. Oh, that's where we're going anyway. They got an archive at the palace.
You've done a lot for me already, but if you could see fit to pay that archive a visit with me, well, you know. Knowing my luck, the records clerk will go crazy and try to kill me.
Is that foreshadowing?
I'd feel better with you in there with me.
That's going to happen, isn't it? Yes, I would say that is going to happen.
Yes?
I seem to be doing things at night most of the time. I should probably stop doing that. I don't know whether it being nighttime actually changes things like spawn rate of monsters or things like that, but okay. Wooded Plains it is. It's going to take 18 hours, which is a very long walk. So never mind. Maybe it will be, I could have checked what time it was actually. Oh, it is daytime. Yay, okay. New place. Is it going to be a friendly place? What is this? Benefactor, Lord, Jongler, Catalyst. Thargelius. Oh dear. Lord Torbjorn Granovik Dahl, I think. Here lies an unfortunate lord who irresponsibly stored above his bed, poorly fastened, his powerful magical sword. What a way to go. Boob plate. Their fans save the day and join their play. Knights in shimmering armour or fools in tights to look charmer. At least not in boob plate inappropriate, which would make Josh quite irate. That's a weird one. I feel like that must be some kind of developer in-joke. My favourite one is definitely whoever came up with this. Okay, right, sorry, distracted. Let's find where we're going. Oh, who are you?
Hush, Itumak.
Sagani, a dwarven woman dressed in skins and hides, leans against a road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bear figurine between her feet. A large, white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at your approach. I hope we can get these to come with us because I like the fox.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
Oh. This outfit may not be flattering, but I am definitely not him. Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now, but I'll know him when I see him.
Okay. So, your friend's supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know Whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
Okay, back up. What does this stranger have to do with your friend?
A long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitak. I came here looking for a village elder. a man we knew as Persock. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persock's trail is cold, to say the least.
Why can't you find him? There can't be that many of your people in the Deerwood. He died when I was still a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. Oh, right. Okay, that does change it. How long have you been looking for Persock? Her painted brows lower and her compact, muscular frame sags for just an instant. 5 years. So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember? Who could be anyone now?
That about sums it up.
Okay. Why do you have to find Persock? She smiles wryly. That's more of a campfire tale. I'm not quite ready to get into it. Then it must be an important duty.
So I keep reminding myself. Still, it would be nice if important duties came with clearer instructions.
Okay, she looks at the Adra figurine in the dirt. How does that statuette figure into it? She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small, flat palm. It's carved in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished Adra is worn to a dull mat along its arched back and ovoid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it?
Oh.
It belonged to Persock. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
Right, this pink blurriness seems to be what happens when my watcher power kicks in. As she holds it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitak, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persock, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright, for a few hours. But most of the time it looks just like this.
Okay, I feel like I can probably do something with this, so I could take a look at it.
I've heard that one before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Forkvale told me he could take a look. For a few golden dukes, of course.
Oh.
I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the wolf's lair and the twining trees.
Do you want to know specifically more about these places? Is Twining Trees a real place? He meant Twin Elms. I haven't been there yet, but I hear they have some specially memorable trees. Oh, I'd like to go there. Okay, what's the Wolf's Lair? Defiance Bay. Oh, okay. Locals call the current Duke Wolfgrin. Sounds like he'd be fun to drink with. No, it doesn't. Go on.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place. Right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
Okay, I could say, what if I'm Persock, or may I see the figurine? Yeah, may I see the figurine?
Why?
I'm a real watcher. We may as well be honest with her. We've been honest with everybody else so far.
You expect me to believe that? After the story I just told you?
I mean it.
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
Okay. She hands you the figurine, her chapped knuckles grazing your hand. She watches you examine it, wary but curious. You raise the Adra bear, turning it in the light. As your eyes catch a tiny glinting scratch, the scenery around you melts away. Perfect, okay. You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amid the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below you. Okay, that's very vague. I can use perception of... Oh, I could have a higher perception, but I don't have quite enough. Perception 15, sniff the breeze though. Breathing deeply, you smell salt in the air. Wherever you're standing, wherever Persock is standing, must be near the ocean, not a lake. Oh, it's a shame we can't get to that one. I see a vision of cliffs high over the water. Does that sound familiar? Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence, and that's all I can do right now, so return it. I've got it. He's standing on a cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
I told you I'm a watcher. She blinks at you a few times, calculating. Ah, a deer pipes up. If you'd seen the way she stares at dead things, you know she's serious. Fair enough.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you.
Okay, so we can choose two options here, which mean leaving. Or we can say, come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we can look for Persock on the way. I want her to come. People can actually have in my party, though.
And if this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
Perfect. She tucks the figurine into her pouch, and her fox stands shaking his pale coat. Ah, yes. I was hoping that would be the case. Her fox is like my antelope, so now we have two pets in the party. Maybe we should actually read the sign. North to Kednoa, west to Defiance Bay. Okay. So what's that way then? Let's just have a small meander over this direction just to be nosy. This could be a terrible idea. Oh, okay, maybe it wasn't a terrible idea. No, it's like a... slow mode. Okay, you're doing quite well. It's hobbled, it has wounding. And now let's run out. Can you use that again? 14 slash damage there for that antelope. Perfect. Okay, we didn't really take much damage either, so that wasn't too much of a disaster. Oh god, okay, there's just loads of these up here. Maybe I should stop doing this. The pets didn't do too well. Okay, let's take its weird wood again, which was west to Defiance Bay, which we now have kind of three different things to do there. We need to find the leading key. We need to go find the records for Adir so that he can find out what happened to his brother, and now we have a new friend who needs to go and find the reincarnation of an important person to her tribe. So now plenty to do. I'm guessing finding the leading key is going to be complicated, so we'll probably end up doing the other things first. I realise I'm going off the path again here, but got curious again. Oh, house. I'm going to get attacked again. Sparrow's nest is tucked in between two angled slats. Oh, okay, cute. Not really helpful, but cute. For now, let's go to the bridge, which only takes 4. And it's night again. Let's talk to these people. Oh, the bridgeman. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Yes, let's see what his soul has to say. You see a ship being tossed about in a storm-ravaged sea. The swells rise and fall, carrying the ship with them as if it were a toy. This man stands on deck at the helm of a ship, while water whips around him. The crew moves about frantically, trying to keep the chaos under control. He barks orders at them, pointing where to go and giving each one a task. The men, while still visibly distressed, seem to calm down when they're given their orders. Okay, so he was a captain and a good one. He instructs the helmsman to resume his duties at the wheel and rushes to the aid of a crewman who is struggling with a rope attached to one of the sails. The ship crests a wave, going almost vertical in one direction and then immediately again in the other direction. Several of the crew are thrown from their feet, sliding across the deck as the ship rocks. Maybe as the ship rocks. After the swell passes and the ship returns to a relatively normal orientation, the man quickly scans the deck, counting silently. No one has been lost this time, thankfully. He looks in the direction they're headed, seeing no reprieve from the storm in sight. His jaw squared and his upper lip stiffened, he returns to the helm and takes the wheel again. Okay, he's definitely the kind of person you want as a guard. Who's this? A woman, a strand. Okay. Oh, hers is a really long one. Okay, let's just skim this one. A lavishly decorated room, walls hung with tapestries, ornate oil lamps. This woman is seated at the table, sitting across from another woman. They're both well dressed, their style befitting the room they're in. They obviously are familiar with each other. A strange nervousness surrounds the other woman's actions. Okay, so slightly awkward interaction. Is she about to murder someone? So they're getting quite close. Reaches round her. The blonde woman shudders, leans into the hand. This woman's hand deftly removes a small bag from the other woman's belt and secrets it under her own cloak at the small of her back. Then she gently kisses the other woman's cheek and stands again, the smile never leaving her mouth. Okay, so she is a con artist. So we trust him, but we don't trust her. So Astrand, if we see her in the future, she's probably going to try to steal from us. Welcome to Defiance Bay. Well, watch yourself in the city, understand? Can I talk to you? What can I do for you? What can you tell me about Defiance Bay? Sorry, but I don't have time right now. But it sounds like that Dozens crackpot Rowan is stirring up trouble again. Jerks his head at the gate. He'd be all too happy to give you a rundown of the city, liberally flavoured with Dozens propaganda, of course. Huh. You seem to be on edge. What's the problem? Thousands of them, truth be told. We've got refugees coming in from all parts, under some misguided notion that things are actually better here, that the legacy somehow passed us over. So they showed up with no prospects and little money and just end up making a worse mess of things. He looks you up and down. No offence. Okay, none taken. We're here for a very specific purpose, actually. I'm looking for the Temple of Wodica. He scratches his beard. Not sure why you'd want to go there, he shrugs. It's in Fast Fires if you really want to see it. Okay, and good luck to you. Okay, so you seem okay, just to call Borgaunt. Who are you? You don't want to talk to me. Okay, let's go. Into Defiance Bay.